Hi, this is Marek from Tryb, and today I'd like to tell you more about the Fox Experiment. It's a game published by Pandasaurus Games, and thanks Pandasaurus for sending this game for review. This is a Euro game for 1 to 4 players, and the story of this game is that in the 50s in Soviet Union there was this experiment by scientists, and they wanted to find out how dogs were domesticated. So they made an experiment with foxes, and they tried to recreate the domestication of dogs, but with foxes. They were curious which traits go from parents to children, and they selected the friendliest foxes and they breeded them even further. So this was the scientific experiment. And in this game, you can say that you are the scientist and you will breed foxes, you will study them, you will see how different traits go from generation to generation. And of course, like in Euro games, you will try to score as many victory points as you can. This game includes a solo mode, so you can play this game alone. And one of the creators of this game is Elizabeth Hargrave, and she created Wingspan, a game that you have probably played or heard of. Now I will show you how the game plays, more or less. This is not a how to play video, more like you will get an idea what the game is about, and then I will tell you my opinion on the Fox Experiment. This is the Fox Experiment prepared for play. There is the main board. On the main board there is space for study cards. These are the cards that you will, one of the cards you get at the start of the game, and you will be able to acquire more cards during the game. These are the cards that will score you most victory points at the end of the game, and you will use the pups that you breeded in the game to complete different levels of study. Here you have the science cards that give you like one-time abilities or bonuses. You also will be able to get these cards. If you don't use them, they will give you points at the end of the game, but if you use them, you will be able to get some additional bonuses. Here are 4 patrons, and by performing a specific upgrade on your player board, you will be able to place one of your foxes near one of the patrons, and then you will score points for the thing that is shown on the patron. Like here, you will score point for each tail token on your player board. Here you will score points, 2 points if you have 2 tokens in a vertical line. So each patron will give you points for different things, and during the game you will be able to choose which like patron you would like to, you can say, follow and then score points. Here is the supply track. You will be able to place your gear token there, and the supply track tells you what will be the player order in the following rounds, because the player that is farthest to the left will start first the following round or generation. Here are 5 spots for placing the foxes. At the end of each round, you will determine which pup that was created during the round is the most friendliest one, and the player who is the owner of the friendliest fox will place a token here, and this will give you additional victory points at the end of the game. Each player gets a board, and here you will be able to unlock different upgrades. Like at the start of the game, you can breed 1 pup. You have 1 study card that you will be able to complete during the game, and you have 1 friendly die. Friendly die looks like this, because there are a lot of other dice in the game that you will roll to complete studies, but the friendly die is like a wild card that you can use for any symbol. During the game you will gain different tokens, and they look like this. They have different traits on them, and if you get a specific number of tokens, you can spend the tokens to upgrade this board and to get more pups, more study cards, more friendly dice, or to like become friends with a patron and score victory points at the end of the game. Each player also gets a deck of cards. These are the pups that you will create. They are blank. They are like dry erase cards, so you will use this marker to write things here. They are all blank. They are just you have males and females. And when you will breed pup, you will take one card randomly from here, then you will roll the dice and you will mark different traits on each of the pups here during the game. Not on each, but on the pup that you breed during the specific round. Here is the kennel. The number of foxes here depends on the player count. In a, for example, a 3-player game, you have 3 male foxes and 3 female foxes, and you will take 1 male and 1 female card each round to breed more pups. So, how the game plays? The game is divided into 5 generations, 5 rounds, and each round has got 4 stages. First stage is the selection, and during the selection, in the order of players, you will get 1 female fox, 1 male fox, and you will place your gear token on one of the supply truck. Okay, one too many. On one of the supply truck spots. The first spot gives you no bonuses, but will guarantee you that you will be first player in the following round. The other spots give you some bonuses. If you choose to place your gear here, then you will get these bonuses. 1 science card, for example, and 1 trade token with the tail. In the player order, you choose one of the things, so you can choose 1 male fox, the next player chooses 1 female fox, then you will place your gear token. But at the end of the selection card, of the selection stage, you need to have 1 male, 1 female, and your gear placed here. The basic foxes look like this. They have a name, they have a mark if this is a male or female, and they show you which dice you will roll during the breeding phase. You have 4 types of dice, and they correspond to 4 different traits of the fox: the tail, the ears, barking, and spots. And each study card that you have require you to breed a pup having specific number of specific traits. If you want to progress on this study card, your pup that you create needs to have specific traits. Then you will be able to progress from left to right. By achieving the first level, you will get 2 points. By achieving the second one, you will get 5 victory points. And by achieving the third level, you will get 10 points at the end of the game. You will maximally you will be able to get 4 study cards during the game, because the first one you have from the beginning, and 3 additional ones you will be able to acquire during the game. So, if you don't know which pup or which mother and father, which male and female to choose, you should look at the traits that you need to acquire. So we need purple one, brown one, and pink one. So for example, I would take this fox because I have 2 purple, 1 pink die, and for example, I would take this one. I have 1 purple and 2 brown dice. And for example, let's say my marker, gear marker, will be placed here. So this is the selection. After the selection, you go to the breeding phase. And during the breeding phase, you have to take the number of pup cards from your deck that you will be able to breed. At the start of the game, you can only breed 1 pup, but here on the player board, you can unlock additional pups up to 3. But at the start of the game, you can create only 1 pup. So you take this pup, then you have to take all the dice shown here. So you have 2 purple dice, 1 pink, and 2 brown dice. Additionally, you take your friendly dice, the wild card dice that you have unlocked. You start with 1, you can unlock 3 additional ones, so you can have maximally 4 friendly dice. And you will roll the dice. Let's roll them here. And as you can see, the dice, they have different sides. Sometimes there is a full symbol, sometimes only half on one side or half on both sides. And you have to connect them together in order to create symbols. So here I will have 2 brown symbols, 1 pink, and I have half of the purple one and the other half of the purple one, so I can connect them together to create 1. But I could also do something like this, because this is like a wild card dice, and this symbol, half of the symbol and half of this will create 1 full of the purple, and here is another full of the purple. So if I would use the dice like this, I could mark the traits on my pup. And I have 2 purple symbols, so I will mark X here and a dot here. I have 2 brown symbols, so I will mark 1 X here, 1 dot here, and 1 pink. As you can see on the card of your pup, you have either squares or circles. The squares symbolize dice that you will be able to acquire if you will choose this pup in future generation as, in this case, as a father. And the circles here show you how many trait tokens, the round ones, you will get during the research phase. And then you will be able to spend these tokens on your upgrade board here. So this is my pup. Then you can count the number of spaces that you have marked, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the friendliness number of your fox. So in this case, it's 5. And as I said, at the end of each generation, the player with most friendliness will place his or her fox token on this track to score additional points. And this is my fox, my pup. So this pup is created, and then you go to the research phase. During research phase, you will be able to use your pup to progress on one of the study cards that you have. Each pup can be placed on 1 level. So for example, to be able to reach level 1 of this science card, I need a pup with 1 square purple, 1 square brown, and 1 square pink. Purple, brown, and pink. So this fox, this pup is okay. I can place my fox token on the first level, and at the end of the game I will get 2 points. If in the future rounds I would like to use another pup to progress here, to progress this fox to level 2, I need 2 spots on the purple, 2 spots on the brown, 1 on the blue, and 1 on the pink. So this pup will not help me, but if I had 1 X in the blue spot, I could use this pup to progress it. So you can use 1 pup to progress, to achieve 1 level of any study cards that you have. After making progress on your study cards, you will collect tokens. I will get 1 purple token for the tail and 1 brown token for ears. So I take the tokens, and I could use them to progress on the upgrade board, to upgrade on my player board. But for example, to upgrade here, I would need 2 of the same tokens or 3 of the same tokens. You have to go from left to right. If I, for example, would have 2 brown tokens, I could use them, for example, to get 1 additional friendly die in future rounds. So you place 1 of the tokens here and discard the other. So this is how you upgrade your board. This is the end of the research phase, and then you have the administration phase. In the administration phase, you have to discard the parents that you used to create your pup. Each player has to do it. Then you have to discard all the remaining foxes that are in the kennel. each player will put her pup in the kennel, so in the future rounds this pup can be used as a father or a mother, and then you have to refill the market with the number of cards depending on the player count. Then you have to see which player is, what is the player order for the following generation. You have to check which player has got the friendless fox, and this player will score points at the end of the game for each round. The other players that didn't score for friendliness will get the friendly tokens that work similar to this wildcard dice. You can use them to complete any symbol during the breeding phase, but they are discarded. The dice stays with you and these tokens are discarded. Then you remove all the tokens from the supply board, you refill it, and you continue to play the game. After 5 generations, after 5 rounds, you will calculate the points you get from your patrons, from your study cards, from upgrades on your player board, because some upgrades give you additional points. Then you will also get points for unused resources, and the player with most points wins the game. If you play a solo mode, you will play against the AI, and AI has got a deck of study cards. They look similar to your cards, but they have a number here. And this is the priority, because this priority will tell AI which mother and father the AI should choose during the selection phase. Because during selection phase, AI will always, in each round, AI will always create 2 pups. So AI will choose 2 fathers and 2 mothers, 2 males, 2 females, and it will create 2 pups. The foxes AI will choose from the kennel, depend on the priority of trait on its study card. So for example, in this case, AI will try to get foxes that has most pink dye, and if there is a tie, most purple dye. And if there is still a tie, AI has got another deck of cards, like selection deck, and it will tell you if it will try to get the leftmost or the rightmost fox. Then after AI selects the foxes, AI will also place the gear here. You will have the research and breeding phase of the AI. It will create pups in a little easier way than you. You will not roll dice for the AI. AI will just, let's say if this is the male and female for the first pup, AI will just mark 3 purple spots, 2 brown and 1 pink. But then AI will also try to compete with you on the friendliness track. AI of course will score victory points for completing each level of the study card. And anytime AI completes the first level of a study card, it will get another study card. So AI will get more and more study cards during the game. And in a multiplayer game, if you have a pup, you can use your pup to progress only on 1 study card and on 1 level. And if the AI breeds pups, AI can use a pup to progress on any number of study cards. So AI gets more points from study cards, but for example, AI doesn't use the patrons at all, and AI doesn't have a upgrade board. It cannot upgrade anything, so it also will not get any points from this upgrade track. And this is basically how you play the game. If you play a 2-player game, you will also use the AI in a more simpler way than in a solo game. But if you play with 2 players, 2 human players, you have to use the AI to also create pups and compete with you on this supply board. This is how you play the Fox Experiment. Let's go to summary. Now you know how to play the Fox Experiment, so I can tell you what I like and dislike about this game. My pros: the story is quite unique. I have not played any game about foxes and experiments and science and domestication. So this is cool because this is not another Euro game about, I don't know, building a village in medieval times or something like this. So I really like that the story is quite unique, and it has a scientific background, which is really, really cool. I love the look of this game. The artwork is amazing, the boards look great, the components are awesome. You have this cute fox meeples, even in different shapes and in different colors. So this game is a treat to look at. If you set it on the table, it looks really, really, really amazing. I like the mechanic of breeding the fox pups, and it's really cool because over generations you can see that some traits are passed from parents to children, and you can breed new foxes from the foxes that were bred in the previous generation. So you can see the whole science behind this story here in the game mechanics and while you play the game, which is really, really cool. And I like the roll and write elements here, that you roll the dice and then you take the your cards and you take this marker and you can write on cards and check which traits your fox has, which traits your fox got, and you can give your fox a name. This is really, really cool, and then you can erase it, of course. So this is not a legacy game. But this is really fun, and if you give all the foxes the names you want, it makes the game more personal. So this is really nice. Even though the rulebook is quite thick and it has almost, I think, 40 pages, and when I first opened the box I thought, oh my god, this is a heavy Euro game with a lot of rules. The game is relatively simple. You have 5 generations, 5 rounds, and each round you have 4 phases. First you will select a mother and father for the foxes, then you will breed the foxes, then you will perform the science, unlock different levels on your science cards, and you will gain some upgrades to your player board, and then you will clean the board and prepare for the next round. So the rules are not very complex, what I like, and I like that the solo mode in this game uses AI. So you have an automated opponent, it's cool. You don't just play to beat your own score, which is a lazy option for a solo mode, but you have an automa here that will also breed foxes and will score points and will compete with you on the friendliness track. So this is really cool. What I don't like about this game, the rulebook is too long and too big and too overwhelming. For a relatively simple game like this one, I mean simple in terms of rules. I don't like rule books that are too short as well, because sometimes when you have very short rule book, you are not sure how to play the game. But here I think there are too much information in it. And for example, when you play a 2-player game, you have a different mode with a simple automa variant. When you play solo, you have the full automa variant. But when you read the rules for solo, they tell you to check the rules for a 2-player mode, and when you play a 2-player mode, they tell you to check the rules for the main mode. So you have this rulebook and you jump from here to here and here to there, and you have to check many different things in many different parts of the rulebook, so sometimes it's annoying. The solo mode is cool that it's included. I like that you have automa, but it takes some time to run the solo mode. And sometimes I had this feeling that the time I spent on automa turns is more or less the same time as I spent on my game. So it's not the solo mode where you just, I don't know, reveal one card and do a few things and continue your game, but you have to pick the fathers and mothers for automa pups. Then you have to create the young foxes. You have to check the traits, and you have to check the cards for automa. It takes a lot of time to run the solo mode, so sometimes you spend a lot of time on the solo mode. If you play a 2-player game, it's not my problem. I mean, I will play the game mostly solo, but if you play a 2-player mode with other human, you will also have to use automa, so this might be a con for some people. You cannot just play a 2-player game, but you will have to use a simple automa. So one of the players will have probably to do the actions for automa, and it will distract the player from the main game. And I think that the story is also not for everyone, probably, because it's about an experiment in Soviet Union, and nowadays Soviet Union is not a very popular topic. And there's also experiment on animals. I'm not sure if the foxes in Soviet Union in the 1950s, if they had a good life or not, and how the experiment was performed, what happened to the foxes that were not the friendliest ones, I don't know. So the topic, I think, is not for every person. But in general, I like this game. It was easier than I thought. The rules were intuitive, and when I played this game, it was fun to create the foxes. I like that the theme of this game goes together with the mechanic, so it's not like you have only foxes on the cover, but in the game you are doing something generic. All the actions and the scientific things you perform, they have a lot of in common with the topic and the story of this game. Cool decisions to make, which pups to create. You had different science cards, you had different patrons, so the gameplay is interesting and fun. If you like Euro games, if you like games about animals, if you like scientific games, I think that you should check out the Fox Experiment. Click the like button if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, visit me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I will leave links in the description of the video. Thank you for watching, see you next time, bye.